because I like the podcasts and sessions be very candid. That is how I. Then you would be knowing our dear friend Waqar Sheikh as well from the hub plant. Yeah. Okay. Our mutual friend. Hmm. Good question. See, not all of them have missed the mark. See, I am very sure that what I was talking about is more of my experience connecting and interacting with the universities in Pakistan. Fine, with my alma maters as well, and I try to talk to them that how we need to bring in the professionals to coach the students. What is being done right now is that the people who are teaching supply chain is an operations course. It's not like engineering, it's not like finance, it's not like that. Yeah, a lot of things, Jamil, a lot of things that you read in the books and what you have learned in the books and case studies, you need to be flexible and agile about those things, and build up a new solution based on the parameters or the scenarios that you are faced up. Every day in supply chain is a challenge right now. Just an hour back I was talking to a friend of mine. He owns a transport company in Jeddah, and we were talking about the new, one crisis after the other. There's a new crisis in the Middle East. We are not done with one, then there's a new one. So we are now just trying to understand what the new one will have the implications, and we are trying to figure that out. So coming back to your question, that in academia you have the PhDs, you have the people, and the ones that have interacted, they have not actually worked in supply chain. They know supply chain, but they supply chain. They have not spent the years, they have not actually done, they have not lifted up a carton in a warehouse and made a delivery to a customer and understand what customer satisfaction actually means. They do not understand that what a lead time, a 1 day impact in a lead time, or one shipment getting stuck in damage, or in, what will have its impact on your OTIF numbers. They would not understand this, and this is why I say that there is a disconnect in that. And the best way is that people like us, what you are doing, what I try to do through my supply chain YouTube channel and podcast, is that to try to do such sessions like we are doing right now, and upskill the people who are listening it, to let them know what the market is looking for, what they are doing. So at the end of the day, again, data mining, data crunching, data analytics is the thing to go. Understanding what automation is. And I give this example very frequently. I was called in by a client of mine, and they said, we need robotics in the warehouse. You know, Beautiful. You are thinking futuristic, robotics. When I went there, they did not even have a WMS, and they are talking about robotics. Fine. So that's a disconnect. Yes. Yes, yes. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So true, so true, and that is true. And you were talking about Concord. I give two other examples. Fine, and this is where you need to be there with the market trends, what the market needs. And the classic example for that are two: Nokia and Kodak. They were the iconic. They were the one who built the technologies. Fine, and they are not there anymore. So, and this is what I'm saying, that when you talk about resources, fine, people are resources and they need to turn into assets. Find human assets management. So when we talk about even HR, it used to be people management, or simple, how would I put it, admin department. Then it became human resource and became people management, and then I would say it needs to be people and asset management, because employees are assets to the company, and you will only be a viable asset till the time that you bring something to the table. What is your value add to your organization, to your department, to the success and the profit of the company? Right? Oh yes. See, good question. So, see, you will find the traditional skill set people all along. A dime a dozen, you know. But the actual skill sets that I even talk to my clients, and everyone is looking for people who are accustomed to the digital skill sets, the technical and the digital skill sets. That do they understand, and they are very specific about their requirements. That have they worked on this ERP, have they worked on this WMS, what is the environment that they are working on? Because right now the companies do not have the time to teach anymore. Fine, you need to be plug and play kind of a model right now for employees as well. Those days were gone, Jamil, when you and I were, young, and we were given, yeah, you have 6 months to prove yourself. No, you do not even have one day to prove you need to deliver from day one. Fine. So, and this is where, unless until you bring something to the table, you are not a good resource for the organization. Then you will end up in your traditional companies, in the traditional roles. At the end of the day, why do we work? We work to grow. We work to earn. So if the way to earn better dollar or better, or let me say net income, that is the only way that you are upskilled. Find what sets you apart, and digital and technical, and I tell this to people: you do not need to go for fancy courses. You have Udemy, you have LinkedIn learning centers, you have so many other things available as an material for learning. You can go for that. Understand what Power BI, for example, is, because reporting in Excel is something of the past right now. You need to work with Power BI and similar tools. I'm not saying that Power BI is the only tool available, but there are others. What do you understand by WMS, TMS, OMS, ERP solutions and systems, how it can help you? So these are the technical and the digital skill sets are very important nowadays. And the point is that companies will bring you on board. If you do not deliver, they will spit you out as well very quickly. So it's a very, very cutthroat market right now. Yep. Mhm. Okay, good question. So I like the cheapest, easier solution. Fine. So see, I will be up straight. I am a partner to Blue Yonder in this region, by the way. Fine. So I will not say anything bad about them. They are amazing people. Just a couple of days back, I was with the global sales head for the retail business. It was his first trip to Saudi Arabia, so we were having lunch together, and I told him that, and he liked my comment that for me, Blue Yonder is the ERP of the SCM world. Fine. So when you talk about SAP HANA, Oracle, Dynamic, these are financial systems. Fine, and the and even when we talk about the OTS, the Oracle or the IBP from SAP and the EWMS and these things, these are built for a certain environment and they lack the flexibility. I might be biased against them, but this is what I believe in, that they are not built for the agile supply chains. They are built for structured supply chain, that you have your own warehouses, an order is coming in and going out. But as soon as you move into an agile structure where you're doing last mile, where you're doing e-commerce, you're doing retail outlets, institutions, says a lot of different channels that you are managing, and you have your own warehouse, you have your DCs, you have your 3PL partners. Now suddenly these traditional solutions start showing their limitations. Fine. And I'm using the word carefully, limitation, because they are not bad, but they were not built, or they are not there for the agile supply chain to support that. And this is where we, and this is what I tell you, this is where companies need to come, have gone through, who understand different solutions. Fine. It's not about that I will only recommend Blue Yonder. Find a company who's coming, who does not even have the scale of Blue Yonder. Even Blue Yonder will not pick up their call. There has to be a certain annual turnover. You mentioned O9. O9 only talks to companies, for example, who have an annual turnover at least touching $1 billion. This is how they place themselves. Similar to Blue Yonder. Then there's Planet Together. There is Slim Stock, Streamline, Relax is there. There are so many planning solutions alone out there, that it depends which industry you are. There are planning solutions which are excellent for the spare part industry. There are planning solutions which are excellent for the retail industry with the planogram and everything. Then there are solutions which are production and resource planning. But unfortunately, people only know about SAP because this is what they know. And this is where we as consultants come into play, that we try to educate. We do not try to, like me, I do not sell my services. Fine. I educate people that this is the solution. I can connect them to my partners, and you evaluate them, you understand them, and they need to showcase their capability. Does it fulfill your requirements or not? From capability perspective, cost perspective, value perspective, all three has to be plugged in. So again, so this needs to be there, right? Oh yes, correct. So correct. So correct. Okay. So I agree to that 100% without doubt. See, at the end of the day, and I will just take the example of Saudi Arabia right now and supply chain. Uh, by default, the expats or the non-Saudis are at a disadvantage when it comes to supply chain jobs because, and this is a beautiful thing that the Saudi government has done for their own people in the sense that all the international certifications, you name it, and they are free for the Saudis. They are funded by the government. 100%. And how it is done is very simple. They do not pay the bills. Fine. The system is very straightforward, beautiful. That if you are a Saudi and you want to do, for example, CPIM level 1, fine. You go register, you do the course, so you pay for yourself first. Fine. You pay for it, you learn it, you give the test, you achieve the certification. You take that certification, take the bills. There's a website of Human Resource Development Fund under the Ministry of Labor, HRDF, and you submit everything. They will review it, they will approve it, and they will refund every every dollar or the real value that you have spent on it, and you will get the reimbursement. So just imagine young lads, girls, and boys. They are young and they already have the APIC certification. They have the CPIM. They have the CILT. You name it, they have it. Fine. So for me as an employer, first of all, I would like to hire people on whom I do not need to spend on training because I get reimbursed by the government by default. See, fine. Secondly, they also have the apprenticeship or training programs in which the government pays for the internship for the Saudis. So the company doesn't need to pay for the internship 3 months or 6 months, 6 weeks or whatever. Fine. So that is there. So this is what I'm saying. For the fresher expat, the jobs are there, but it's difficult. There's a lot of entry to barriers. And you are right. The market is for experienced people who are bringing something extraordinary to the table. Fine. And that is where you are able to negotiate better pay scales, better allowances, and different things. The whole works. And having said that, just imagine if you join as a fresher and you do not have anything to sell them, fine. You join at a very low income because you're just trying to get out of your country. And unfortunately, this is what the scenario is in Pakistan, if we talk about it right now. Fine. Most of the people are just trying to exit. Exactly, very long time. Just imagine I know people who are accepting jobs in Saudi Arabia for 4,000, 5,000 riyal. Fine, just to exit. Fine, so that is the whole scenario. So definitely, yes, Saudi market is more for the experience, and you are able to negotiate a better net value for yourself if you are experienced. In-depth knowledge of or the experience that you bring. See, I have been saying this. What do you bring to the table? Fine. What is the different experience? For example, Jamil, if you target the Saudi market, for example, if I take your example, you are bringing. If I look at your LinkedIn, your resume on the LinkedIn, right? Your LinkedIn is your resume at the end of the day. Uh, I see Procter and Gamble, how you have risen in the Procter and Gamble world. Then you move to Mars. Then you rose in different functions, both horizontally and vertically as well. So you carry with yourself a certain skill set and an experience across multiple verticals, multiple functions. So you bring something valuable to the table. You are not someone that someone needs to teach, but you are someone who will come and teach them and will just carry on and improve things. Fine. So this is the skill set that the employers and the leaders over here are looking for people, not just in expats, in Saudis as well. The market for Saudis is also very cutthroat right now. There is a lot of supply, and the demand is still, demand is being built up, but the supply has just increased with such a lot of young talent and in supply chain. If I tell you, and my daughter is going to university this year right now. And just today, she just messaged that she's applying she will be doing in supply chain, her bachelor's in Saudi. Fine. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. It took me, it took me 1 year. Fine. But having said that, the point is that there are so many programs that even I got shocked when I started researching that which universities offer supply chain in the bachelor's program. Almost every university in Saudi Arabia has a supply chain program right now. Some of them have dedicated supply chain, actual bachelor's in supply chain and operations management. Some of them have a BBA with electives in supply chain. So just imagine that the amount of supply chain young links which are graduating the Saudi fresh mind. I recently met one girl, right, fresh graduate, and I was talking to her, and she said, I do not want to work in an office, I want to work in a warehouse. A Saudi girl wants to work in a warehouse facility. Yes. And I can show you over here forklift Saudi girls who are driving forklifts in their houses as well. So the perception of the outside world about Saudi Arabia is completely flawed or limited. The world within Saudi Arabia is a different ballgame right now. The kind of these kids, they are challenging everyone. They are hungry for work. They are hungry to prove themselves, and they want to grow. So the young talent, the Saudi young talent is something to be really taken serious about, and they are bringing a lot to the table. Very important. Oh yes. Say, Jamil, you and I are two examples. Sorry, I'm cutting you. You and I are two examples of brain drain. Exactly. Yeah. True. Mm-hmm. See, the growth that I see in Saudi Arabia right now, see, if I look at purely on the Vision 2030, and because that is what is driving Saudi Arabia right now. So, logistics, next 5 years, because 2030 still is 5 years away for the targets to be there. So, logistics is definitely one of the strongest area. Then you have tourism, which is a very strong area in Saudi Arabia. Then you have the construction or the infrastructure development that is there. You have FIFA coming in. FIFA is there. So how many in just Riyadh? if I remember the correct number, in Riyadh alone, in one city, there will be 8 stadiums. So just to look at it, to just imagine what, and then you have the expo which is coming in over here as well. Then you have a lot of things. Very soon you will be hearing that Olympics will be in Saudi Arabia as well. So the point is that the cultural, the tourism, the sports industry is growing very quickly, and with that everything grows. The infrastructure, the logistics, the consumer market, everything. These industry, they drive the growth of all the other markets. Fine. So and with this skill set, you need a lot of people definitely. And in the coming years, right now, even if I see at 2025, a lot of push is happening, a lot of things are happening, announcements, big announcements are coming in, even though with all the turmoil or the chaos which is happening around, there's still a lot of development and aggressive development which is happening. So that is it. Yeah, you need to move everything. You need to move the world for them. Sure. See, if I talk about the young talent, the local talent, fine. So for me, I would say that they need to future proof themselves, that they need to understand what the skills are needed in the next 5 years, and they need to start building on those skills from today. Power BI used to be a specialized subject. Now it's a job requirement kind of thing. That do you understand Power BI? Do you understand reporting? Do you understand dashboard? Fine. You need to be technically and digitally skilled. Fine. Do you understand these different ERP tools or these different supply chain digital tools or not? But on this is the technical side. On the other side as well, another thing which is very important for supply chain professionals, and that is the soft skills which is needed for people, and not just for the young professions, for us as well. And it takes us a lot of time to develop these soft skills, especially when we talk about, for example, emotional intelligence. Fine. How can you navigate with the stress, with difficult and dire situation? How can you keep your emotions intact? At the end of the day, we are human beings. Fine. Supply chain all the time is a stressful job. Is a very stressful job. Chaos is happening all around. Anything can go wrong, does go wrong, and you need to have plan B, you need to have plan C, you need to have plan D. Fine, for everything. So that is need to be there. You need to be a strong negotiator, and when I say negotiating, is not just about trying to find a discount. Fine. When I talk about negotiation, and this is I do in my training as well. For me, negotiation is finding that sweet spot, the win-win scenarios. It doesn't need to be a zero-sum game. Fine. It can always be a 1 + 1 is equal to 11 as well, not even two. It's about that you find that win-win scenario where you can synergize with your partners as well. So that is there, and at the end of the day, you need to be very good in communication. You need to be transparent about it as well. So better the communication within the supply chain structure, or at any level, junior, medium, senior, the better you will be able to manage your supply chains at the end of the day. If you're open and honest with your supplier, believe me, when you're down, they will be the first one to come and pick you up. Fine. So threatening, or that I will put a fine on you, there you were delayed and everything, these do not work. Fine. They might work on the short term, but we all know that once we are rigid with our partners, they eventually move away from us as well. Yeah. Okay. You, talk about Copilot. Yes. So I'm a Microsoft user. So I have the access to Copilot as well. But then there's Gemini. Now you open your WhatsApp. There's an AI chat box in your WhatsApp as well. So everything and anything, everything has AI embedded right now. I'm a very strong user of ChatGPT, for example. Fine. And will AI replace? Yes, it will replace the non-productive job roles. Fine. I'll give you an example. Uh, I use AI extensively, and I will be very open and honest about it. And when I'm doing talks and when I'm in conferences and everything, I remember 2 years back, right? ChatGPT was new. People were still adopting to it and everything. And I was in a conference, a panel speaker, right? And the moderator asked that how many of you use AI or ChatGPT? And I was amongst the very few who rose up their hands that I do. And then he asked me that, Noman, what do you do in AI? I said, to be very honest, only for this conference of panel discussion, it was the first time that I used AI, because the question that you sent, I just put it in ChatGPT and I asked him, give me the best answers for that. And the moderator started laughing and he said, Noman, I also got the questions from ChatGPT. And it helps that you are able to direct your good resources in areas where they are actually needed and remove them from the non-productive part. Like I operate supply chain talks, right? If I need to manage my social media, you are managing, you need to write LinkedIn posts, you need to write a lot of YouTube introduction and everything, a lot of things. I used to spend a lot of time. Now I don't. My ChatGPT is very well trained in how I write things, in what topics I am working on, and I only ask ChatGPT, this is what I'm about to post. This is it. Can you write a good thing? And it writes as Nomanali, because it knows how I like to write. Because I uploaded a lot of it. Knows everything about supply chain talk. It knows everything about AdCons, for example. It knows everything about Invex. So I don't need to. Even my emails are a lot of them where I need support. If I need to send something to my clients, I basically ask ChatGPT to drop me an email. Because these were non-productive tasks which now your AI can do, and now I can focus on productive areas. And this is where the world is moving as well. And this is what I was, when we were discussing earlier, the skill sets needs to be there. You need to future-proof yourself. Fine. So if you are still stuck in the old ways, then you will be replaced very soon. Fine. Nobody talks about. There was a time, Jameel, when you and I were fresh out of university, writing on our resume, Microsoft Office was a very sound skill set. It is not now. Fine. So this is why it needs to be there, that you need to continuously upskill yourself. And AI is a tool, as a support tool, that you should use to upskill yourself. fine tune it. Exactly. 110%. You are 110% correct. And this is where a lot of companies, and this is where when we talk about WMS, when we talk about TMS, at the end of the day, now these are all built in with the planning tools, the Slim Stocks and the Blue Yonders and the Relax and of the world. They're all AI based tools. But are they replacing humans? No, they are not. They are just supporting the human element. They are fine tuning your work and they are improving your work. And at the end of the day, you need to be smart enough to understand how they operate, and you still need to manage the AI. We are still not in the phase where Terminator will be taking over, or that will happen. We are still not there. Yeah. Okay. Good question. Do not worry about the future. It will pan out. All you need to do is ensure that you are honest and you are hardworking. Hurdles will always come in your way, and one way or the other, if you are honest, if you are hardworking, and if you are able to handle those smartly, those hurdles will eventually show you opportunities that you need to grab. See, where I am today, if I look back and I say I did a wrong decision, I am here because of those combination of wrong and right decisions. I'm standing over here. The experience of the bad decisions also has made me what I am today as well. Fine. The learnings from those bad decisions, it has made me what I am today. So, and this is what this morning I posted something on LinkedIn that if your day off gives you anxiety about the next day, working day, then maybe you don't need a vacation, you need a new job. Fine. It was in good humor because someone replied that if the new job is also giving you more anxiety, what will you do? See, but the point is that if your job is taking away your mental sanity and is giving you stress, then you need to step away. You need to take a deep breath, and things will fall in place automatically. Toxic environments are always there. Corporate world is 99% toxic. It's very rare that you will find a non-toxic environment. I will not even in the best of the best organization, toxicity is there. Fine. So you just need to believe in yourself. You need to stay humble, and you need to just ensure that what you're doing is honest and smart and hardworking. Because I have taken my share of tensions in my young days as well. Now I don't worry about things anymore. So 100%. Uh, exam was happening. Fine. And we all had these books in our laps. Fine. And our professor, he was an old guy. His name was Dr. Karimov. Amazing person, one of the best professors that I ever had in my engineering school. And he was an old guy, so he could not always come up the stairs. This is why we were sitting at the back, because we had no idea how to answer the quiz and the exam. So we were cheating. Fine. In very plain words. So the TA, the teaching assistant, entered the lecture hall, and he simply saw us sitting in the back. He knew who we are, And he just came up there and he looked at it and he said, Dr. Karim, they have the books open. And the response that Dr. Karimov gave, at least they have the books open now. Exactly. See, he knew what we were doing, but he was